Our next entertainer is one of the best comedians in Las Vegas right now. He lives in Atlanta, Georgia. He drove 10 hours to get down here. So again, please give a warm welcome from Auburn Lady.
Javier, how you guys doing? All right, that sucked. Saturday night, let's try this. Javier, how you guys doing? That's how you handle it. Thank you guys for coming out to the show. Give it up to everybody that's been on the stage before me. Give it up all the time. Man, I love coming here and everything. Give it up again for Mr. Jim Rashard coming up here and doing this thing. Taking the time. One of the things, he always gives me a real nice intro, but one of the things I'm real proud of is for the past couple years, no matter what I do, is I always try to go overseas and perform for our troops overseas. I try to help those guys out. Yeah. But I wanted to clarify something real quick. I was in Japan, because I ain't nowhere the hell I'm going over Iraq, I can tell you that right now. Because I found out I look too much like them people over there. And I didn't know that, man. I didn't. I never knew that. I never knew I could get mistaken from somebody from the Middle East. So one day I was doing a show and I was flying out of Jackson, Mississippi's airport to go to Las Vegas, Nevada. And when I pulled up to the airport, security helped me from the time I got out of the taxi and escorted me all the way on the plane. And my dumb ass thought I was getting a VIP treatment. Turns out in Jackson, Mississippi, I look like I'm from every country in the United States got a problem, man. And what's really messed up is, have you ever been in a situation where somebody's whispering, but they're whispering loud enough that you can hear them whispering about you? And I was sitting on the plane, right, and about 5 rows back, I could hear these two good old boys talking about, "Hey, Bubba, check it out. I think we got one of them Al-Qaeda some bitches on this airplane." I don't know, but that boy starts up on this airplane, I got something for us behind. And I hear them and I'm get up, hell yeah, let's get them. America's not gonna take it. We're not gonna be terrorized by a bunch of terrorists. Let's get them. Till I realized they were talking about me. So I want to tell you guys from a minority standpoint, the only thing worse than getting picked on because you're a minority is getting picked on when you get a wrong damn minority. And so I'm sitting on the plane right, I'm like, all right, cool. Y'all want to roll like this? Cool. I'm going to get even with everybody. So right as the plane was about to take off, as soon as that front wheel lifted off the ground, I jump up and go, people like, see, I thought that crowd was funny. Yeah, man, Big Bob and Marvin. Until we landed, that's when I learned security got jokes too. One of security's biggest jokes is, apparently they got really big fingers and not no KY jelly. So I don't like to fly that much no more. But as a comedian, this is what we do. We travel all around the United States, man. And it amazes me, I go to places, and this is why I like coming out of Louisiana. Because it's like a melting pot. You got everybody in here just getting up doing their thing, and I love that, man. I go to some places around this country, and it amazes me. Because I'll go to some places, and I'll still see like some white people that don't want to be around black people. And I don't get that. And I see some black people uncomfortable, and they don't want to be around white people. I've never understood that. I'm like, oh, people realize when black and white people get together, wonderful things can happen, man. Hell, look at me. As you can see, my family got on real low, like we won't. And I'm not about to sit here and tell you guys I had a messed up childhood, because I didn't. I had a really good childhood. Everything seemed normal to me up until the time of the family cookout when both sides of my family showed up. Oh, that's jacked up when you got one side of your family bringing these little finger sandwiches and Grey Poupon. And the other side of my family bringing chitlins and collard greens. I didn't even know white people knew how to make chitlins and collard greens. joke. Because I go to some places in the South, what the hell wrong with chilies and collard green there, boy? You better get to running. That's what I told man. Live and let live. Nobody's got enough time. This is one of the reasons why I personally like coming out and supporting this organization, because they work so hard to help people out, and I'm a firm believer in that. Because we don't have enough time for all this different kind of crazy crap and everything. I'm like a firm believer, like, whoever you want to be with that person. You ain't got enough time if you hate a particular group, man. I'm following you like that. I just can't put up that. People still just like freak out. Like they still think, black and white person had a kid, you're going to get some stereotype, genetic throwback of both groups. That's some crazy thinking. I mean, realistically, what's the worst thing you can possibly get? A big redneck with a jerry curl. Mouth just full of gold teeth as he spit chewing from back over. And you know you're going to grow up and be the biggest pimp in the trailer park. Driving around in a big pink Cadillac with a gun rack in the back of it. Marrying his first cousin. Pimping out for a set of mud flaps and a watermelon. See what I mean? That's ignorant thinking. I'm like, all right, cool. You want to roll with that? Cool. Let's just go with it. Because actually with me, you're going to get the best of both worlds. Because standing before you is a 6'2" curly-haired, green-eyed basketball sling, loving, government cheese-eating, multilingual drinking, Barry Manilow loving, hip-hop rapping brother, hung well, got great credit, and likes to use his tongue. Maybe me having to y'all think that last part is a joke. Ladies see me after the show. There were a lot of men clapping on that part too. You out of luck. People are always killing me, man, with these just crazy ideas. They had the one thing. And a lot of times after the show, people ask me about my family background. And I can tell you, I got all kind of people in my family, but if you want to narrow it down to some specific groups, I'm black, American Indian, and Irish. That's jacked up. But if you want to believe a bunch of stereotypes, black, American Indian, and Irish, what does that mean? I'm a raging alcoholic who can't hold my liquor while I sit around all day drinking gin and juice. And I'm like, one time I was actually heading out to California trying to find an agent, and I was in LA. I was doing a show, and these agent people come up to me and they said, Marvin, we really like the show, but the problem is Marvin Lee doesn't sound black, American Indian, or Irish, and we think you need to change your name to something that expresses your family background. What the hell am I going to change my name to? Freaking Tyrone Cloudfeather McNally? Names will mess you up, man. I can tell you. I was doing a show in Charlotte, North Carolina, doing a show. And afterwards, everybody took me and other comics out to this nightclub, and it was just hidden. People everywhere, and it's just like, oh. And then I was going to this nightclub, and I walked in, and in the back of the room, I saw this beautiful woman that I wanted to talk to. This beautiful black lady, and she was, and excuse me, ladies, if you don't quite understand the reference I'm going to make, but guys will understand. This lady was so good looking, she was like, now guys go, oh yeah, I met that chick before, I met that. But and so I walked up to her and I go, hey, how you doing? My name is Marvin Lee. And I said, what's your name? She goes, oh, hey, how you doing? My name is like Shaniqua LaShawn. Huh? Like, my name is Shaniqua LaShawn. I'm like, Schneider one. No, Shaniqua LaShawn. Schneider one. No, Shaniqua LaShawn. Oh, what up there, Sean? My name is Marvin Lee. No, not Sean. Shaniqua LaShawn. And see, this stuff went on back and forth, and see, my father always told me the best way to show anybody the proper form of respect is to learn the proper way to pronounce their name. Half you guys in the audience got names nobody outside of Louisiana can pronounce. I got a friend of mine named Jerry Como, one of the best friends I ever had. And the rest of the universe, his name is spelled C-O-M-O. Now down here, Homo is spelled C-O-M-A-A-U-X-H-I-J-K-L, you know. You guys, y'all just throw after a while, she just gets mad and goes off on me and she goes, I said my name is like Shaniqua Lashad. Don't just stand there, words coming out of my mouth. How many times I gotta tell you? Shaniqua Lashad, Shaniqua Lashad, Shaniqua Lashad. Look, let me tell you something. Here you come over with your crazy green ass self getting all up in my face. Here, what's your name? What's your name? What's your name? Shaniqua Lashad. What's your name? What's your name? Shaniqua Lashad. Look, let me tell you something. I've been hanging out with my girlfriends right now, trying to get a drink on. We come here trying to have a really good time, and I didn't really want to be bothered with you about my girlfriend. He's kind of cute and everything. Maybe he's gonna come over and get us a drink. And by the way, what kind of man shows up don't even offer no woman a drink? I don't even understand what's going on when you're doing that. You're showing up and offering me a drink. Anyway, I got hair done, nails done. I don't really need a man right now, but you're coming in my face and trying to get it real nice to you and everything. But everybody just knows my name is Shaniqua Lashad, because I want to tell you, if you couldn't even understand my name is like Shaniqua Lashad, then there's no way you could be able to handle the type of woman that I need or be able to bring me up to someone. And she went all over me. Now I done got pissed, right? And I'm looking at her, I said, wait a minute, sister, hold up. Wait a minute, slow your roll. Wait a minute. Look, you done had 25 years to learn that hard-ass name. I done had 3 minutes. You know what? Forget all the drama. Tonight, your name is Pam. If I call you now and say, can I speak to Pam? I'm talking your crazy behind, because at this moment, I'm going to be working with 3 letters. You can be Pam or you can be Mac, but that's the only 3 letters we working with today. Now, not just black people that mess up when it comes to those names. It's not black people. We perfected it. But we aren't the only group. Latino people do that crap too. And I want to tell you guys, first and foremost, I got a lot of Latino people in my family. I love the Latino people. I'm one of the few people that let them in this country. The more Latino people we have, the more great it'll be. Just let in from a minority standpoint, because I can tell you, every minority I know that's been in a situation where it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you try to get on home and you had your little buzz on and you at the light and a policeman goes, woo! And I'm like, oh crap, I'm going to jail. But we would love to be able to look out the window and see some Latino dudes and say, okay, Sanchez, one of us going to jail tonight. It's either going to be me or it's going to be you. And you know what? I got my papers. Yeah, let them in, let them in, let them in. Love the Latino people. I only got one problem with Latino people. Just one. Just one. Stop naming your children Jesus. Now, I know they pronounce it Jesus, but what I'm saying is on the job application, it reads as Jesus. And I can tell you something right now, ain't nobody hiring Jesus. It sounds so bad to say that, it sounds terrible to say that, but it's the truth. And you want to know why nobody in this room gonna hire Jesus? Because nobody in this room wants to be the one to have to fire Jesus if it don't work out. Don't none of you want that kind of karma coming back on you, man. Be standing there and your boss show up and go, hey Marvin, can I speak to you for a minute? Hey boss, what's up? You're gonna have to let Jesus go today. Who? You. Oh no, man, I can't do that. I can't be the one firing Jesus. That's a bad karma. I mean, I know he ain't the dude, but come on, man. That's just what about? All right, okay, like what if I fire him and then like next week I get hit by a bus? All right, so then I go to heaven and say, hey, can I get in? Are you the guy fired Jesus? No. All right, Marvin, you got to do it, man. Look, boss, don't make me do it. Come on, can't you do it? I mean, you're the vice president of the company. Yeah, but you're in charge of human resources. That's your job. Oh, come on, boss. Don't let me. Stop being a punk about this, Marvin. Hell, I had to fire Moses last week. It's your last year. Simple solution. Just don't hire me the first one. And I came down here specifically because I come to Louisiana so much. I've been coming down here for 13 years. And here's one of the things that I try to tell everybody. A lot of times you're going to see a comedian come up on stage and they're going to go, oh, I love being here. This is the greatest place. And then you see them in Chicago, oh, I love being here. It's the greatest place. No, I want to tell you, you can look it up on the internet. I go all over the United States. And I tell them my absolute favorite place to go on this planet, as far as the way people treat me, as far as the way the audience goes, the way everything happens out, as far as the food happens to be Louisiana. I love coming to this place. And you think I know, look it up. Look up comedian Martin Lee, find some stuff I've done. I can be in the middle of Baltimore, Maryland, and they may, I thought you were going to brag about it. No, it's right here. I've never seen a bunch of people get kicked around and you get up and say, well, we just going to have a party, let's move on. dishes was unbelievable. I don't know what it was. I didn't ask no questions. I just know it was delicious. And I went up there for seconds. Then on thirds, I kind of felt bad. After that third plate, I was a little embarrassed. But I kept going back. And like I said, you guys always show me a bunch of love, especially when the food. Love coming out and eating. But every now and then, you guys can play a trick on old Marvin. And I go, ha, 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 ha. Yeah. Because I love, like I said, and I don't try to eat at like the popular places. I like try to eat where the locals go get some real good, like the real stuff. So I said, hey, give me something exotic. I don't want to just try normal, I want something exotic. I said, hey, I got a dish for you. I'm like, bring it up, serve it up. Get some gravy on it, let me have it. He said, I got this dish for you. It's called a Nutra. Yeah, you got me good on that one. I knew I was in trouble when they brought the dish out and everybody in that crowded restaurant just got quiet. Hey, psst. Hey, Mom, is that the Nutra you gonna eat? Like, yeah, shh. And I'm like, this smell good. And I was eating, I was like, this is delicious. And the man said, oh, let me tell you about how we prepare it. I learned this. I don't want to hear nothing. It looked good, it smelled good. I got a general rule about when I eat down here with you people. Whatever it is that I just got through eating, don't tell me nothing about the dish for 48 hours. I figured I got about 48 hours for every remnants of it and cleaned out of my system, and I can go, oh, that was a great dish, or I go, oh my God, I can't believe I ate that. But I don't want to think about it still somewhere in my body system when I found out what you guys was eating. And so the guys are like, oh, so I tell a friend of mine when I get back to Atlanta, I was like, hey, I heard this dish back in your home state of Louisiana. He said, what was it? It was called a Nutra. You go, oh, no, you didn't. Yeah, good. He go, do you know what it was? I'm like, well, it's been 48 hours. What was it? It was swamp rat. Clean. It was a swamp rat. I never thought a man could actually go through labor pains. I go, what? And see this side, everything, because everything is French, and y'all mix it up, when you see it, it sounds cool, you make everything sound good. When I heard the word Nutra, I said, well, Nutra sounds a lot like nutritious. So obviously it has to be good for me. They didn't say Nutra meant swamp rat. You can't put swamp rat on the menu. Because some people might have a problem with that. And so as I got finished turning green, I said, hey, and so I started looking up. Not only is Nutra swamp rat, it said that the Nutra is one of the, and I quote, one of the largest rats in the rat family. See, no matter how much you put that thing together, it goes from absolutely terrible to a lot worse. What did you eat? I ate Nutra. Oh, you ate rat. Oh, what did you ate Nutra. You ate swamp rat. Oh, you had Nutra. You had the largest swamp rat in the rat family. Yeah, you got me on that one. I get it. Now, one of the things that they had, I always try to tell people, the reason why I like coming down there, because I love coming down here. That's one of the reasons. I'm one of the non-Cajun and Cajun people come down here. I love coming down here because I love having fun with you guys because y'all all crazy. I love that. I love that. And people don't tell me because, like, there's one place I go to Florida. I love going to Florida. And my other favorite place, number one, is Louisiana. When I travel around, I ask people, I say, hey, you know what Florida and Louisiana have in common? And everybody around the United States has one thing that they always think about when they think about Florida and Louisiana, and what that is alligators. Now in Florida, they let the alligators run rampant around Florida. They on the freeways blocking traffic. They actually on the freaking golf courses, and they coming up. They actually got a sign in Florida that they put out in neighborhoods that said, please do not tie up your small children or pets due to alligators. My first question is, who the hell tying those small children in Florida? And I said, hey man, what's with this? What's with the whole thing about the tying up? He said, well, periodically, if you got a little small cute dog, you tie him up outside, and an alligator will crawl out of the swamp into your backyard and eat blood. Oh my God! And I tell this around the country, and people go, oh, I can't believe it, and the audience just freezes. But in Florida, yeah, I'm on my third or fourth fluffy right about now. That's just going through the motions, man. There's this alligators doing whatever they want in Florida, and people just like, oh, I don't know what to do like this. But not here. I've been coming down here for 13 years, and I've never seen an alligator going anywhere. Why? Because you guys will eat them. Over some swamp, and I look at it, and I see some eyes looking up, and hey, that ain't no crap. That's all I've ever seen. Because you know, you got two alligators standing there going, hey, you want to get up on that freeway and get a little sun? Are you kidding? You know what they did to Fred last week? They done made him out to be a gumbo, man. Dog got vicious. And I was actually in Lafayette, and I came down here a few years ago, and there was a lady, alligator. Just gorgeous. And she actually sat there and she had this brooch on, and she was telling me she was about 72 years old. She said, when I grew up poor, and so we used to have to till the fields, and we used to have to work all this swamp. And so I'm in the swamp, and I'm just working this shit, and I don't know what she was working in the swamp, but I didn't want to argue with it. I was just into the story. So she was working in the swamp, and she said I was 12 years old, and I had these big trolling, big boots on in the swamp, and every now and then a cottonmouth snake would swim up and bite me on the boot. I'm like, oh my God, what did you do? She go, oh, it wasn't nothing but a little old cotton mouth. I just grabbed, crack it down like this, throw him in the swamp. Yeah, oh, it wasn't nothing but a little old cotton mouth. I just grabbed it like that, crack it down like this, throw him in the swamp. Let me get this straight. You are a 12-year-old girl working, and a poisonous snake came up, bit you on the boot. You grabbed that snake with one hand, broke its neck, then threw it out in the swamp and kept working. Yeah, I felt my nuts just fly out the window right now. I'm not nearly as manly as a 72-year-old lady here in Lafayette, Louisiana. But let me tell you how bad I thought I was. Because in my house, somebody said, oh, come in quick, come in quick. I said, what's the problem? Spider! Get back. Back, I got this. I'm glad I could avert that danger for you. Get back. And I felt like a man. But not when I got ladies cracking necks at 12 years old. That's you people. I met a man, same area. He was 5'2", gristle and wire, and he was just hard. 5'2", probably weighed about 122 pounds. And I said, what do you do for a living? He said, oh, I catch gator for a living. I'm like, what? That stops me. He said, yeah, what happened is me and my partner, we go out into the swamp And we go and we get in this boat, and then, but you can't call it a boat now, you gotta call it a pirogue. Like, what? He said, yeah, that's the only two things you can do on the boat. And then, 30 seconds later, some of y'all still thinking about that joke. Oh! He said, and what it is like, you sit there and you gotta wrestle the alligator, right? We pull it. And then somebody gotta jump into the water and pull the alligator up on the boat. I'm like, who lost that coin toss? That's my job, that's my job. I go there and pull it and go. He said, so after I pull it in the boat, and we go around like in the pre-roll and everything, he said, just when it get dangerous. This is when it gets dangerous? He's like, yeah, because the guy gotta stand over the boat with a rifle, and no, he's gotta be real careful because he's moving, you gotta shoot him in a spot, because if you don't shoot him in a certain spot, whatever you do not want to shoot a hole in the boat. Yeah, I believe you on that one, man. But you know that didn't happen, right? You know somebody went, bam! Uh-oh. And you know nobody's happy but that alligator. Like, yeah, buddy. Well, I'm sitting there, right, he's telling me this story. And I was like, oh my God, this man, I'm like, then I would tell this story to people all around the United States, and everybody did not believe me. They're like, you can't make this crap up. I'm like, it's the truth. I can tell you. Then, a few years ago, they came out with this show called Swamp People. Oh man, I love it. And people come around there, and the guy standing there, I love it right there. He get up there, yeah, me and my boy, we're gonna go out there, and we're gonna get us again, and then we're gonna chop it up real good, make us a gumbo, and then we're gonna go out and get the family, we're gonna have a good old time. And what's funny to me is, he is talking so deep with that accent that they actually put subtitles to explain what the hell he's saying. And I've been coming down here enough to where I know what he's saying. And I'm like, I can't believe this. I'm actually bilingual. I never do this. Now, before I get out of here, I gotta tell you guys this, because I can keep going, but we got so much good show for you. I gotta tell you this. I've seen everybody come in all nice and couple up. Real quick, you guys gotta tell me, who out there is in a happy, loving relationship? Let me hear it. Who's it? I love that because everybody seems kind of happy, but the killing part is whenever I say that, I look, and every time I say that, every man look at your wife and make sure everything okay before you clap. Oh, we good? Because you know you've been already 10 tall on the way away tonight. Ladies, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to help you out. I told you I like watching a lot of those shows. I saw Discovery Channel. Discovery Channel does not mean that women are smarter than men. Guys get mad when I say that, but hell, I seen it on Discovery Channel, so I know it's true. According to Discovery Channel, women can process, analyze, and spit out information 2 to 3 times faster than men. So guys, every time you get in a fight with her, she double teaming your behind right from the beginning. But ladies, because you are smarter, you can create some problems that men just don't see as problems. I mean, you can come up with some stuff that the human male mind can't even comprehend. Perfect example, there had to be a woman come up with something kind of crazy and out of this world like breast reduction surgery. What? Yeah, I got big man breast, get that. They got to go. Are you kidding? Look, ladies, I've been mad at my boys from time to time. But that don't mean I'm going to sever the relationship. I know we're going to make up, but they got to go. Which brings me to an interesting point, guys. If you ever thought you were going to win a fight with a woman, keep something in mind. She just got pissed off at her own breast and they got to go. What the hell you think your chances are going to be? Women are smarter than men. You always sit there and think that I cannot believe I found out that women are always thinking. I didn't know this. You are always thinking. Men, we don't do that, and I never knew it. But guys, have you ever been traveling? Have you ever been traveling with your wife in the car going on to somebody's house? You got about an hour trip, and 20 minutes into the trip, she looks at you and goes, "What are you thinking right about now?" And guys, what do we say? Nothing. And then she gets mad. That's your problem. That's your problem. You don't ever want to open up. You got about 20 minutes. That's why your blood pressure's so high. You want to open up and discuss these things with me. No. Ladies, you got to understand something. When a man says he's not thinking nothing, he means, I ain't thinking nothing. I've been driving for about 20, 30 minutes and I didn't have a single thought running through my head. And women go, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe you can actually go somewhere and not think it. Yeah. And she's mad at me now. Now I got to make up something I was thinking. To tell her to make her happy. Oh, you know, that old woman sure is terrible. I don't know how the kids of the next generation are going to make it. Oh, that was very thoughtful. I thought you might be thinking something. No, I made that crap up. But you're talking, and you don't realize, ladies, when you're talking, we pretty much phase that out. Like, blah, 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 blah. And you think, because we're both there having a conversation, that we're both there. No, we're long gone. You know, blah, 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 blah. But this is what gets us. You say something, and every now and then you'll say a word that takes us out of taking out of context and blow us out of that funk, and we'll come out of it. Blah, 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 panic. What? You said something about some panties. Yes, I was listening. But what? Now I said that part about the panties. Yes, I said before we stop at my mother's house, let's swing by the Walmart. I gotta buy her some new panties. You got anything about your mother's drawer? You guys have fun? After the show, I want to tell you guys, my wife is up there manning the booth. After the show, please stop by, shake your hand or whatever, because all of the jokes that I came out with, she inspired. One way or another. So I'm kissing up to you right now because I'm going to have to get up there. So I got some stuff up there. By all means, please stop by because I need gas home. But I do want to tell you, ladies, you way overthink us. And so all these women want to have quality time with me. Oh, why don't we spend some quality time? Quality. Look, I hate quality time. I do, because quality time means that either way, somewhere down the road, I'm going to be sleeping on the couch that night. Men ain't got no concept of quality time. I'm like, all right, I'll spend a little quality time with you. Cool. Which one of us going to get naked first? No, quality time means I got to talk to him. Uh-oh. Ladies, quality time for men involves just a few things. Sex, violence, cars, sports, and beer. So ladies, if you really want to see a man enjoy quality time, you better get a bunch of naked women with machine guns racing Corvettes for the national championship, sponsored by Budweiser.